Good morning, everyone. So we'll do prayer to Manjushri. Lama Gumbo Jamba Yang Lai Chansa Gandhi Chanyen Chitra Nita Kasave Jinyen Gangren Jishin Seche Ichi Tukale Panse Anda Shebe Tsala Mare Nandon Dumanji Sewe Tondo Kanla Kuchi Tanze Yunma Chuchi Yande Nemo Nilo Legi Chapun Jose Mare Mense Doma Nyebu Jinyen Junze Raji Dene Datin Saji Dasai Yenden Dinzo Jase Tuhu Chujan Junyen Jinje Dale Mense Jambe Yang Om Arapatanandi, Om Arapatanandi, Om Arapatanandi, Om Arapatanandi, Om Arapatanandi, Then Jinji Channel Ale Gemon Barasani Kodam Zinju Shambo Pai Longe Gobin Wazandu Donji Jingo Donji Puranjan Adinzuna Majiba Palwajin Jinja Bishop Jindu Jinam Balam Ruera Dutte Wajin Bengon and Chanzaji Kazuchi Shawan Nansara Pamje to Jages and Brands so Pamjas and the Zars and Bendonda Shants and Visses and Dupervik. Dogan Megin the Ginger to the Damakunation and Gideon J. Conchape, Tom Moker Bishop. $3 in Zorojon, within Soren, Nombozer and Jerry Landon, then John Barby. Pema Jun and Alain Zorojon, Gloria de Vadan, Tomei, Jolon Chikinda, Generation, and Baozo. Zamlin Jenchon on Jenda Asian, on the Quarantine in the Gola, and then the Jungle Lishas of the door, because and Jerba. Jimmy Veseja Jinda Asian, Rigonjan Bashinale, Bombelone, Bobetan Jito, Chanjam Zemo, Mivam Jambi and Jinda Asian, Comitala, Balavanda, the Jitan Jimena, so, the Pasadam, Brushanabe. We do Jinjan and Asian, Namuru, Jimmy Bomendu, Jizal, Conjana, Jujin, Jikala, Comendanawa. Padin la meja jenda isho, in the Sanjikundaya, Padin Sanjikundela Big, Savila Misha Lazo, Nilo Topaki or Shinjelo, on the Juton Vijitena, and the Jelo Manager Bakansuda, the Tambichin Baby. Simba Devartadan, the Shishi, Nomoya, Tamba, like a down with Damiji, and the Montanami, Wagunjitanam Jizamba. Tamje ke do sosoro to Georgie. Major do ananga, and Bessinjin Tamje, number 10 Devana, and the Zubis and the Chilla. Chinejam to Rasha, each and you. Sebachin Bushano, Gazet Boshala, Shunchim Bochanjus and the Jeba and Sushinju, Sene, Yamsuma, you, Nambu, Sambasha, to give up and check it, Simba show. So, as usual, so before we begin this meritorious activity of teaching and listening, we need to have a right motivation, the right intention to do it. So the right motivation will become when we are able to, when we arise the awakened mind, which is Bodhicaryāvatāra, need to arise in this way that I'm going to listening this Mahayana scripture composed by Shantideva, the way of Bodhisattva's life. And, for the sake of all the motherly sentient beings, in order to free them from the suffering of cyclic existence and its cause, karma and the afflictive emotions, and then to lead them to complete free stage of enlightenment. And for this purpose, I'm going to study this and implement all these instructions with that kind of intention and listen this kind of teaching. And additional, listen carefully in an excellent way and try to implement the meaning as well as the word. With this kind of preparation, and then listen this. And then the actual teaching here, the way of Bodhisattva's life, which has 10 chapters and 4 main themes. So the first 3, so far we have studied already that 8 chapters. So we are at the moment we are studying the 9th chapter, which is the how to develop or improve wisdom within oneself. So among the 4 themes that we are in the 3rd theme, which is how to improve or develop the further this bodhicitta, and until what destiny, until final, the ultimate destiny, or until ultimate, how to say, ultimate destiny. Right?
Destiny is the finish. Where you're supposed to be.
Complete. Yeah. So until how to develop the completely the bodhicitta or the Mahayana spiritual training, which is that when we are complete Mahayana spiritual path, and then fruition is enlightened. So how to complete this, how to develop and how to complete develop this bodhicitta. And by developing the diligence and meditative concentrations and wisdom. So how to develop the diligence and meditative concentration? Somehow we already studied, and now we are studying the how to develop the wisdom within oneself. And so far, and these are the order that we should not forget, that from the chapter 1 to the chapter 8, these are all guidelines, mainly Shantideva introducing the method part, the skills or the method. Yeah. And then this 9th chapter, more focusing on wisdom part, the wisdom part. So the method and wisdom, or normally we say compassion and wisdom. So, so this what you call the method part. First, we need to train ourselves to avoid all these negative activities, and then to engage into those positive activities, such as having the awakened mind, altruism, and then based on that altruism and engaging into generous practice, moral practice, patient practice, and diligence, and then meditative concentration practice. And once we developed all this, once all those paths or all those methods becomes or mingle with oneself, then Shantideva, okay, now this is the boat to lead us too close to the shore. So now, once you get to the shore, then you must leave this boat and you may go beyond now. Don't keep it this boat as dearest anymore. So the time for the utilizing those boat is now end. This is the end. Now, so once we familiarized our natural, it becomes like our natural, then we need to train ourselves to let it go through developing the wisdom. So that's why this 9th chapter and the so this 9th chapter, Shantideva also when he talks about the view, when we talk about the wisdom, it is very much related with the view. So the view is the kind of like the object of wisdom. Wisdom is the subject. View is the object. It is kind of like that. So that the people will going to have a view and based on their wisdom, that how much they have developed wisdom, that much their view will going to be developed. So this view and wisdom is like a subject and object. Either whichever angles we talk, that it is like a developing wisdom is developing view, the same thing. So this all view which we have discussed so far, the common run of people's view, and then the Shavaka's view. These things, in the one hand, we can consider these view is like within a one life, within an individual's one life. From the childhood, what they will going to have a view, and then when they grow a little bit, they change their view, and then when it become adult, they change their view, and then when they get like a little bit like over 40, 50, and then they change their view, and then when they get really old, like 60, 70, 80, then it's all going to be have a different view, right? So similar like this way. So even though we talk like this, the common run of people, Sharvakas, mind-only school, and then the middle way school. These are all this all different view can have within one individual. But some people just kind of like not having a skills to develop the wisdom, and they end up their life with the first view. Their whole life, they end up with the first view. And then some may have an advantage, like a fortune enough to encounter with such kind of like some kind of like, let's say, the great teacher, and then they may develop their view. They change their before view to the a little bit better than before, with a more rational than just saying it. You know, this common run of people, as we discussed about two types, right? One with the religious influence, another not. So, although, yeah, this is now, it is, but both, there are very much similarity view within those two types of common run of people. except those common runner people who have a religious influence. They have some sort of like an extra concept that everything is created by God. God is the source of everything. Somehow that we need to have, that being a human, we assume that we must have some resource. Otherwise, how this all can happen? That means there should be some, how to say, reason behind, or the resources behind, so that to how to say, to find out that resources, and then there will going to be the different way of introducing the resource. So some little intelligent, advanced people will going to go more with the rational reason, and then some not really intelligent, doesn't really want to scrutinize those things. They feel like this is just unnecessary, complicated. Just say whatever my parent says, or just say whatever my teacher said. Okay, teacher said God created everything. Okay, priest said God created us. So God created us. Like that. But anyway, this kind of concept that we have, for instance, that even those great masters who have, let's say for Shantideva himself, probably I can say that when Shantideva introduced his view in this 9th chapter, probably he doesn't have this view when he was born. He wasn't have this view with himself together with the born. And then later he grew up and he studied and he entered into this Nalanda University in India. And there he studied more and more. And then he understood all this with the rational reason. And then he came to this conclusion. And then he introduced him. He himself kept carrying this view and freeing himself from the cycle of existence and from the problem, the source of the problem. And that's how he ended his own all the suffering, and he want to introduce to others, his friends and like whatsoever, that for the rest of the us still today, that the rest of the us, that he wants to have that same view, so we can also end up all the suffering and source of the suffering as him, as like him. And likewise, Shakyamuni Buddha did the same thing. And Shakyamuni Buddha also, we can say, this is like now I'm talking based on a, what do you call it, based on a relative way. Shakyamuni Buddha also doesn't have this view when he was born as a prince in the palace. He's very common people like us. And then like Shantideva, anyway, so don't go so far, just use the Shantideva as an example. So the Shantideva, he may do not have this wisdom which can view in this way what in this chapter what he described. And he gained this view through his developing his wisdom. Later, he has studied and engaged into all these scriptures, philosophies. He has studied Shavakayana's philosophies and mind-only schools philosophies, middle ways philosophies. All these philosophies, kind of like the, how to say, comparing between each other, and that's how he ended up into this conclusion. At the childhood time, highly likely that kind of like he may also have this same view that thinking maybe God created everything. And likewise, being a childhood, God created everything or not, it is a little bit has an influence of religious background. But the being a common childhood, so we just, maybe we think that I am created by my parent, and this kind of like a world. We don't have idea actually, but we just make based on an assumption. Whatever the mind kind of like a little bit makes sense, we are going to determine on it. If mind tells this is all happening randomly, then we just say, oh, like this is all randomly happening. Like that. Maybe Shantideva, when he was growing as a child, he may have this view at the beginning. And then later, when he become like a little rational person, right? Rational person, then he may find it out this Sharvakasthyanas way of explaining how this all phenomena producing like a partless atom and the indivisible moment of consciousness. Like this kind of very makes sense, in our relative concept. These introductions are so matching with our concept. And he may have those as a view later developed, a little bit developed in his later part of life. Maybe say like during the adult. And then when he as he grow, learn more and more, and then he changed his view. He even eradicating or removing, abandoning those views and moving to the next view, like the mind only school. No, this is not right. So everything is created by mind, as we can have many evidence that how it could possible that created every phenomenon through mind. And then holding that view. And then later it goes to the middle way schools describing all this rational reason. Then he may, stop viewing that everything, the mind only school way. And then he improve himself to go higher. Likewise, here, this common run of people's view, Sharvaka's view, mind only school's view, and then the middle way school's view, we can have it within our life. It is just like an education that as we grow and then we develop our educations from the kindergarten to the secondary to the high school to the university. That's okay, that's no problem. But if we just stay in one, then that's a problem. Then we are not developing, we are not improving ourselves. We just satisfied whether it is rational or not. This is it, I am here. So, so there are, how to say, these all kind of like a development of our wisdom, not necessarily that two person or Sharvaka school is up there and middle way school is the Shantideva is here, confuting. Maybe this all can becomes like a Shantideva himself confuting and then grow, improving his own view upper and upper and upper, kind of like upgrading his view more and more and more. And then in the same way, and if anyone others who have a similar, the similar experience of Shantideva, and then through his introduction, they can also upgrade up and up and up. So if we do that, that's okay to have at the beginning the common run of ways people view. It's no problem. And then through our kind of like a investigation or study or focusing more on all those kind of like a rational reason, and then we change our view, we develop. So that's the one thing I want to tell you, this one related with this teaching. And then also between this common, there are two types of common run of people, and so should not stay whole life within one. Little bit consider also how to develop that. And actually, everything is created by God. There are many different religions say same thing. One way, it seems like there's no description. There's no really rational reason they find. Therefore, they're just making like it is excuse. It really seems like doesn't want to go through detailing, doesn't want to go through scrutinize. That's why, rather than whether it is created by God or whether it is happening by something else, doesn't matter. This is nothing bothering you. You just need to work here. You just need to deal with this world until you die. So whether it is created by God or not, doesn't matter. You just believe God created, so it's okay. Maybe, I don't know why. Maybe could have a different reason too. But anyhow, just staying there, bottom line is that if this view wants to discuss with somebody others, and then they introduce with the rational reasoning way, then there's not much rational reason. They will going to raise this question, right? If God created everything, who created God? Who created God? That question often comes. And when that question comes, most of the religious, what we were going to say, shut off your mouth. Don't say it. Right? Because that's only we can say. Because there's nothing to describe. It's end now. There's no rational reason that we can say. And then that's how some child get scolded by saying this word, raise this kind of this kind of question is actually very intelligent question, actually, rather than stopping them. When this kind of question comes to you, for instance, if I am the one who hold this view, everything created by God so far, God created everything, I have no doubt. But when some other people raise me this question, okay, you believe everything is created by God. And then now, can you please tell me who created God? That is actually tips for me to think, so far till now, I believe everything created by God. I never raised myself this question that who created God? Today, he or she, or even for kids or whosoever, doesn't matter, gives me this intelligence to raise this question, Instead saying, shut up, I must think further. Who created God? This is a good question. If everything is created by God, who created God? Yeah. Where he come from? Who created? Then maybe not much answer. And maybe needs to go to God happens randomly, or what God happens without sources, like that. Anyway, so this is now, you see, the wisdom. That is the actually comparing with this common run of people without influence by religious. The without influence by religious has both, I feel has both advantage and disadvantage too. This without influence by religious, the common run of people, that they believe whatever they see, this is it. And they don't want to investigate more why it is happening, how it is happening. Rather than investigating those, they just want to view, believe, and claim everything is just happening randomly. No needed source. Whatever I'm seeing, this is it. Keeping this kind of view has both disadvantage and advantage. And those people, if they are a little bit intelligent, then yes, these type of people much more easier to convince than the first type of people. The people who are already influenced by religions, it's hard to convince. Compare with this two, the people who doesn't influence by religious. If that person has a little intelligence, then we can provide more rational reason to utilize his intelligence so he can convince, he can change his view. Where this, it's a little bit hard to change his view. Still want to hold that God created everything. Even though sometimes we found some rational reason, but still we doubt. Yeah, it looks like, it feels like, but not necessarily the truth. No, still we want to hold. That kind of stubbornness is there. Where the common run of people who doesn't have an influence by religious, but having a little intelligence has this advantage. But now, disadvantage is that if those not really intelligent doesn't want to use their intelligence, then I think the not influenced by religious common run of people, they're viewing everything as I'm seeing, this is it, no beyond, no after, no before. Whatever here, it's more danger than the first type of people, first type of common run of people. Then they will do everything because that's what they view, they believe. There's nothing wrong. Whatever you can get it within this life. If this life finish. So it becomes more careless, it becomes more dangerous than the common run of people who has an influence by religious. Even they do not have a right view, right wisdom, but at least they respect this God and they have some reference or rely upon or the kind of like a scare a little bit to the God. Or if I don't please God, then I'm going to hell. So for me to please the God, what I have to do, or at least I need to care about other human beings. I need to love, I need to support my community. And these are actually good things, These are all I have. Why? Why? Because I have this view. Everything is created by God. I am created by God. So it is my responsibility to please the God. If he didn't please by me, and he will send me to the hell, that at least a little bit better than those that people, common run of people who doesn't have influence by religious and without intelligence, doesn't want to use their intelligence, just want to believe and view and claim that whatever I see, this is it. Everything is happening randomly. No before, no after. I don't care about before, I don't care about after. Whatever I'm seeing right now, this is it, I believe. I view only this one. And that is the disadvantage part. An advantage part is that if they want to utilize their intelligence, it is more easy to convince and to develop further their wisdom, to change their view, develop their view. And disadvantages like that. Okay, it is also how to say, this is just side topic. Okay, on the side, I just want to say it. Okay, so so far within this 9th chapter, we study till the chapter stanza 7, right? Stanza 7. Yeah, stanza 7 we completed yesterday. Oh, half of the stanza 8, right? Half of the stanza 8. So these are something, as I told you earlier, you can take it as yourself having the first, the view, the common run of people's view, and then how to say, confute that view and introduce that view is wrong, and then go to the next, little bit developed, little bit close to the truth, ultimate truth, which is now going a little bit upgrade and saying, yes, this everything what I am seeing is not as exist, I believe. It is just all vain and false. But the source of it, the heartless atom and the indivisible moment of consciousness, it exists. Hold that view. And then this view is again confuted by another rational reason. And then, how to say, destroy or the kind of like abandon this view and upgrade one's view. And then go to the next, develop. We can study this as in this way, or we can study this as a like a looking, judging from the third party and putting these two together here, or this kind of like a highest middle way schools, Shantideva teacher is confuting the common run of people's view, and then Sharaka, and then mind-only skill view. And then if you just look outwardly like this way, and then at that finally what you will find is like, oh, maybe like according to this, the 9th chapter, this is like, okay, at the end, Shantideva wins. So what? It's nothing. If we look from outward, if we become like a judge, like look at this confuting outwardly, and there are debating between these philosophers. So rather than looking at that, this is, I'm telling this again, that to look at myself, yeah, sometimes this, what Sarvakayana is saying, it's very much relevant, isn't it? That kind of view we had before. So these, for instance, these scientists today, those very good scientists, from the born, they are not scientists, right? From the born, they have this belief God created everything. And then while they improve their education, and then they change their view. No, God didn't create everything. They are Big Bang, blah, blah, blah. They change their view. They change their wisdom. They develop their wisdom. They change their view. So kind of like many good scientists in America, probably we can say they are Christian at the beginning, isn't it?
There are some good scientists that are still Christian.
Still Christian.
They're still Christian,
Yeah.
but they haven't ruled out God. But they're saying, well, this has a cause, this has a cause. When this and this come together, it produces this. But behind it, still God.
Behind that is still God.
Yeah.
Okay.
They haven't been able to disprove God for themselves.
Okay. Some people, maybe some scientists, they change these views.
Some scientists are atheists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which means they don't have a creator.
They don't believe anymore creator. But at the beginning, they believe creator.
Maybe.
Yeah, when they are a child, when they do not have that wisdom, when they do not have that wisdom, then they have no choice rather than believing in something.
Probably they believed in Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yeah, whatsoever. So this is very similar like that, the scientists. So okay, I don't really know who are the good scientists and how. I don't know much about scientists, but probably I can predict there will be some scientists that at the beginning they are pure Christian, means who believing in Creator, and then later as they become scientists and they change that view and they're not believing anymore Creator, they believe in something else. You see, that's the development. That's good, and that now developing wisdom. You know, this how they change their view as they develop their wisdom. So that's why I told you, right? View and wisdom goes together like this. As you develop wisdom, your view will going to change, upgrade and upgrade. So these are all in a practical level, rather than looking two-person debating, and think about this to ourselves. Oh, I have this kind of concept. So, and then if the way Shantideva computing, if it is really makes sense, then I have to remove this concept. I have to give up this concept and then develop my own view further as him. That goes up. This way, actually, this teaching needs to take. But in a teaching itself, also like it seems like debating between two philosophers, and then we are watching. We are like a witness that how they are debating and which one tells more relevant and which ones have a more skillful speak. You know, rather than just taking this teaching as this way. So if you take this to yourself, it's much better. Anyway, so till yesterday, this is stanza 6 and stanza 7, the third until third line. That this is confuting their fundamental view of kind of like a truly existence of heartless atom and the indivisible moment of consciousness, right? And when Shantideva confuted in this way, and then they may raise this question: if the seeing the momentariness is not the seeing the ultimate truth, then it cannot categorize under relative truth. So now, where it will going to belong? That kind of like a suspicious, this Sharvakayana's raising to the Shantideva, right? And then the Shantideva answering the next stanza, stanza 8. This stanza 8 is actually answering to this both question. So the first, what do you call it? The Sharvakayanas raise this question: if this seeing a momentariness is not seeing the ultimate truth, then where it can belong? And they say they're assuming that it cannot belong categorized into the relative truth, because if it is a relative truth, then it must be seen by commonly, but yet this common run of peoples are unable to see that momentariness, right? Yes, this is true. The common run of peoples, we are unable to see this momentariness. That's why I told you yesterday, right? 2020's Tugudawa and 2021 Tugudawa, that common run of people's concept, it's assuming exactly the same person, no any difference. That kind of concept we keep. That's why it is saying we common run of people is unable to see that momentariness. So therefore it cannot categorize into the relative truth. And since according to Shantideva, it is not belongs to the ultimate truth. It cannot categorize into the ultimate truth. So now it may becomes the third one, where it will going to belong, where it can be categorized. And then Shantideva answering this stanza 8. Nanjur Kunzup Nimedos. So this the seeing in momentariness, it won't, how to say, it won't become, cannot categorize within these two things, within this two truth. Shandila was saying, the how to say, this seeing the momentariness is still can belong, categorized into the relative truth. So therefore, and you don't need to worry that if this is not categorized into the ultimate truth, and then it does not become, it cannot categorize under into the relative truth. It can be a relative truth. We can because of the based on a, how to say, Lanjur Kunzup. That's what's saying. There's a no fault for momentariness. It's relative for yogis. For yogis, this is relative truth. So therefore, we can say this is relative truth. It's still relative. It can categorize into relative truths. But for worldly beings, it is ultimate. Jigten Lapte Tenyi Toms, and then as Shakyamuni Buddha said earlier, he's saying that I'm Sharvakas, we are not only that saying this is the ultimate truth, but also Shakyamuni Buddha in Sutra, he also claimed that seeing the momentariness is the seeing as it is, seeing the ultimate truth. And then Shantideva, to not to what you call a conflict between this Shakyamuni Buddha's why he said this, and then he's answering this one. But for worldly beings, it is ultimate. It is ultimate means but for the worldly beings, seeing momentariness is the ultimate. We can say this is ultimate. That's why Shakyamuni Buddha said this is ultimate. It does not really, Shakyamuni doesn't really mean it is ultimate truth. Comparatively, this is, comparatively, yes, comparatively, and this is ultimate. Therefore, Shakyamuni Buddha claimed this is ultimate. That is what he means. You need to understand what he means by saying ultimate. Then tones. That's how you have to understand that what Shakyamuni Buddha means of saying this, seeing a momentariness is ultimate. Then tone. Shen to what? Teto. Jigden Jine Gurus. Where it otherwise the common view could fold the yogi's insight into corporal impurity. What did it say? So this is now, it is what Shantideva was saying is that Shendur, otherwise, if you don't what do you call it, accept or claim that seeing the momentariness comparatively, compare with the common run of people's view, it is ultimate. That's how you should understand what Shakyamuni Buddha said as ultimate. Otherwise, that if that it is, how to say, what do you call it? In order to become this ultimate, if you need to compare with the way common runs people's view, to become this ultimate, if you have to rely based on a common runs of people's view, then it can become like this way, which is Sarvakayana, they themselves don't accept this. This is something Shantideva, they were using the trick that which they don't accept, and he's telling them that otherwise you may need to rely or depend on the common run of people's view, and then this your view, you should say your view is wrong, which is that Sarvakayanas, in your philosophy, your view, you view that the female, this is depend on the gender, okay? So the both gender, if this is talking to the male, if you use female. If this is talking to the female, we can use this as a male. That's it. So here, Sarvakayanas, you view this male Sarvakayan. Here, this one talking about male Sarvakayanas practitioner, the fully ordained. Okay, fully ordained. You viewing the female's body as impure, right? You viewing this as impure, but you claim this is ultimate, isn't it? You claim this is ultimate, right? That also cannot become ultimate, because whether it becomes ultimate or not, you have to depend on a common surround of people's view. So, if so, this cannot become the pure, the ultimate. This your view is not the ultimate, not the right. It can become wrong, because the common run of people, they are not viewing as you view here. Right? That's what it means. Where if otherwise, the common view could fall the yogi's insight, because common run of people's view, it's completely different than this Sarvakayanas fully ordaining viewing male fully ordained viewing to the female, and this common run of people male viewing the female. It's different, right? So since his view and your view doesn't have which is ultimate and which is not ultimate, if you do not have that division, then their view can confuse your view. Their view can confuse your view, because this, what do you call it? That, how to say? Now, this is actually Shanti, they were saying, if you comparatively seeing the momentariness is comparatively ultimate. If you don't believe in comparatively relative, then this is also this view, that viewing female as a impure and viewing female as a pure. This, between these two views, it's comparatively one is right and another is wrong. If you do not accept there's a comparatively, one can become wrong and another can become right, then both can confute each other. Means the common run of people's viewing the female pure can be confused, can say, oh, no, yogi, Sarvaka, the what you call a fully ordained male practitioner, the way you viewing about female, it's wrong. Because I can see by my eye, it is pure. It is like a gobar. This is a little bit challenging. It has to go with all this together, okay? Here, above. Jikten latu tenitong, shentu pime mitzangwar, eto jikten ginu gurus, which is the is relative for yogis. Okay, it's relative for yogis until that one answer. But for worldly beings, ultimate. But for worldly beings means, but compared to the common run of people, the way you viewing the momentariness is ultimate. This comparatively, we can say that where you view as a momentariness, it's ultimate. Okay? Comparatively, it can belong to ultimate. And ultimate and relative, or kind of like ultimate and relative, also in this point, we can use as a comparatively. Otherwise, if we cannot distinguish in this way, relatively, comparatively, if you say that, what do you call it? Sometimes I'm getting also mess up myself. These things are really tricky to talk.
You twist it, don't you? He twists it.
Yeah,
He twists it because to force the other person to admit that he's right.
Yeah.
Which is
So,
really good.
Where it otherwise the common view could fold the yogis inside into corporal impurity.
Yes.
Impurity.
Into conduct.
Because one reason is that it is saying the way Sarvakayana practitioner, way you view to the female, and way the common run of people view to the female. There will not going to become the one is ultimate and another is relative. It cannot become. If we cannot say that seeing the momentariness is the ultimate comparatively. Understand now? Lost. Okay.
To me, it's just, to me, I'm so lost. But to me, it's sort of saying, look, if you don't see that understanding
it has to
graduated, it has to go with conduct. Otherwise,
and
it's
what you're arguing. What is the point? Like, what is the point that they're trying to debate?
Okay, they're trying to debate. Sarvakayana saying, right? Sarvakayanas, he raised two suspect or two doubt. When Shantideva confuting this indivisible moment of consciousness, it's not the ultimate truth. He confuted that, right? When he confuted in a way that what Shakyamuni Buddha said, it's conventional, not he exactly means. It is just for the convenience he said it. He doesn't really mean it. Okay, that's how he confuted first of all. Shantideva confuted. And then when Shantideva confuted to the Sarvakayana's view about this indivisible moment of consciousness, then they raised this question, two doubts. One is, if the seeing the momentariness, right? The momentariness, that what you call the indivisible moment of consciousness, it's now kind of like confuted. But the momentariness is there. So the momentariness, so the seeing the momentariness, if this not belongs to the ultimate, first doubt is that they're raising this. So where it will going to belong?
Okay.
And they think it cannot belongs to the relative truth, because if it is relative truth, the common run of people are able to view that, but they are failed to view it. Therefore, this cannot become relative truth.
This is a one
That's one doubt. And to that, Shantideva answered. Shantideva answered in this way, that there is no fault for that. For momentariness, it's relative for yogis. It's relative for yogis. Therefore, it does not become, it doesn't belong to any of this two. It is still belongs to any of this two. Because from the yogi's point of view, it is relative truth. So therefore, we can say it can categorize into relative truth. That's the first answer. Okay, and then the second doubt, second question is that then why this seeing the momentariness is said ultimate? Why Shakyamuni Buddha said is ultimate? Right? Why Shakyamuni Buddha said ultimate? And he said above, it is just for the conventional. And then he's giving another reason. It is also Shakyamuni Buddha said, and we can say it is ultimate comparatively. Comparatively, seeing the momentariness is ultimate. That we can say.
So the second point is also saying that it's relative. Sorry, it's ultimate for common run of people. Right? The second question, to debate the second question, Shantideva's view is that it's ultimate for the common people, so it's comparative.
Yeah, ultimate. It is ultimate when it is compared to the view of the common run of people. Then this is ultimate. Yes, you are seeing, you are getting closer to the ultimate truth. So comparatively, this you can say this is ultimate. So if we cannot say this comparatively ultimate, the ultimate, then your viewing, which they accept themselves, the way you view female as impure, it's not ultimate, it's not right. Okay, because the what do you call it? That goes with the above one. So don't forget the above. It is because the way you viewing cannot compare. This cannot say ultimate, because the common run of people's view is not your object of, you are not comparing with that. And from which point you will going to say this is ultimate? Understand? Okay. So the way Sarvakayana views the female's body as impure, from what point, with the what, how to say, comparing with what you're saying that this is unmistaken? Comparing with what you are saying this is unmistaken view? What you have a reason that say this is right view, and this is as it is?
But this female is impure, it's an ultimate view.
Not ultimate. It's comparatively ultimate. That's why it's saying, they were saying, comparatively, we can say this is ultimate.
You be relative, but common ultimate. This female is impure, itself is relative for the
relative
and
relative.
ultimate for the common run.
Relative.
It's relative for both.
Huh?
You're comparing, right? So
Yeah.
my question is, this is
Relative.
relative for both common run.
No, relative for
relative.
Sharvakas, but not for the Shantideva. Shantideva,
What is Shantideva?
ultimate, sorry. Ultimate for the Sharvakayana's view. But for the Shantideva, it is still relative truth, not the ultimate
What
truth.
is the ultimate for Shantideva regarding to this?
Huh?
What is Shantideva's ultimate regarding to this? Is the female impure is
So here, okay,
relative,
actually,
what's the
here
ultimate?
he's not describing what is his
Then how
view.
do you know this is
Huh?
he's saying this is not ultimate. He didn't say what is ultimate, so how do you know this is not ultimate?
He's not saying right now.
Oh.
He said it already. Actually, I told you, don't forget. From the very beginning, this second stanza, third and fourth line.
Right.
And this is his ultimate and relative.
Second stanza. These are rich.
But even if you took it down to
This is his view of ultimate and relative. Don't forget this point. Okay, this is the main point. This two line. It's all this debate is. It's going on so far. That his own view is the ultimate is not within the reach of intellect. This impure female, it is within the reach of intellect. For him, it's relative truth.
So basically, he's just
Because
pointing
in
everybody
virtue-
is wrong, and he's right, but my right is without your reach. So that's his whole point.
Not right. He's
So
not saying
he's
right
saying,
either.
I'm ultimate because my ultimate is without your reach, and everybody who has a reach, you are all wrong. So that's anyone can prove.
No, anyone can. That's how it's easy.
have I got a little understanding of this if I said
Mhm.
that if momentary consciousness is ultimate, and if the partless particle is ultimate, and there is nothing outside of that, then even the most defiled female is still pure.
Even the what?
The most defiled, the most grotty, most dirty female is still ultimately pure.
Why we need to have a pure concept?
That's
Whether-
right.
Whether pure or not pure.
Why do
is
we need
relative.
the concept?
So no need.
So,
No need.
and what's this,
So
what's
both
this
pure
about?
and not
No
pure
need to
are
prove it
relative.
is pure either.
No, that's true. But I'm just trying to work out what.
Why are you debating? Then any view is wrong. That I have a view this, I have a view that. Anything you can describe is wrong. You don't need to talk then. That's Shantideva's view.
No.
Right? Ultimate view is beyond our concept. So if
No,
not
it's
pure,
not like
it's relative.
we cannot
Not
talk.
pure,
If
relative.
we do that
Yeah.
without discussion, without using our intelligence, if we decide, then it becomes same as we believe in Creator.
Yes.
No need to discuss. Just believe God created. Finish. You don't have to bother them.
But when he
It's
discussed,
very finished.
before he discussed, he
That's
already
why-
created
no,
the
it's
boundary.
actually
Anything
you need to
discussable
understand.
is concept, right?
This is all the Shakyamuni Buddha, the Nagarjuna. I think Nagarjuna prays to Shakyamuni Buddha. That what he say. Some sort of like that kind of phrase that Nagarjuna wrote it to the Shakyamuni Buddha. Anyway, so I cannot remember this all, but I can remember only these two words. Tawa Thamji Pangzeba. Tawa Thamji Jomzeba. Gotam de la Chansa. Gotam means Gautama, right? Gotam Shakyamuni Buddha. Gotam de la Chansalo, right? I pay homage to this Gautama. Why? It's saying this Nagarjuna praised this to the Shakyamuni. Tawa Thamji Pang Zamba Pangzeba. Tawa Thamji. Now look here. Pang or Chom. Chom, if Chom literally described into English, become destroy. Destroying the all view Gautama, to you I prostrate.
Yes.
But destroying the all view in a rational reason way. Not I said so.
Yes.
Not kind of like my parents say so.
But when you actually discuss, there's no way for you to discuss with Shantideva because he has no view. Whatever I say, then he will defend me wrong because I have a view. And within the view, he has no view. When I debate with a no view, how am I win? So what is the point of? I mean, this is just like
point. Okay, so exactly.
He doesn't see you directly, you believe me, but indirectly, he's just
Yeah, exactly. You got
tricky,
it.
this guy.
Yes, he's tricky. He wants you to abandon all the view as how Shakyamuni Buddha wish. At the Nagarjuna place, I just say, Tawa Thamjit, Chomzeba or Pangzeba, Chomzeba, Wadamda. Tawa Thamjit, Chomzeba means destroying the all view. Gautama, to you I hate.
Within the view range, if we debate, maybe we have some chance. Like Shavasana, whoever, there's a chance to debate him within the view. Now, no view, then no way.
Yeah, debating. There's a lot of debate coming. When he confuted these two, right? When he confuted these two, that heartless atom and then the indivisible moment of consciousness. Yeah, he gave this. He's not saying without I said. He didn't use that I said so. Right? He's using the another examples and another rational reason to prove that why it cannot be the solid exist.
So, for example, the second answer, he's not debating. He's just pointing the other is wrong because, like, you think female is impure compared with the common people, female is impure. And that
no.
Is,
this is something now, Shantideva. This answer is actually Shantideva using the trick.
Yes.
That which Sharvakayanas, their own view, they feel this is ultimate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this ultimate, Shantideva is still saying, this which you feel the ultimate is actually relative, comparatively ultimate, not the exact ultimate.
Yeah, he's just pointing the other is wrong, but he's not saying why am I right.
No.
But he's not actually
he doesn't
saying
have
wrong
to.
or right.
He doesn't need that I am right.
Why my view is right.
No, he doesn't need that.
He's just putting it as relative.
He's just wanna, he wanna destroy all other view.
Because
but still, if he gives himself some view, then
he becomes relative.
He become wrong too.
Yes.
So
okay.
Yeah, he wants to destroy, abandon all the concept. That's it. That's the purpose of all this debate. And going through all this debate so we can develop our wisdom through our intelligence, not by somebody said so or somebody, and then this is kind of like I heard that without any reason, we wanna come into this conviction with using our intelligence in a very experienced way, with the experience. Yeah.
Then if they ask him why your view is right, I mean why this
not right.
Why this no view is right? So what is the ultimate?
No.
Then he cannot answer, right?
Huh?
What if they ask what is the ultimate? He cannot answer.
What is the ultimate? He answered.
Ultimate is without intelligence of reach. That's the same as you just believe in wrong.
No.
It's the same.
No. God is still within your intellect.
You cannot reach.
Your intellect. You're using your intellect. Oh, there is a God, and then God is creating. It's just still within a reach of intellect.
Anyway, you cannot reach that. You don't know is the truth. Right?
No, it's not about like that. It's not with the reason. It's with the reason you are going to there. That's why it is. That's how it is going up to the emptiness. Stopping, removing one by one all the concept, and then whatever left, that's emptiness. Yeah, whatever left.
Whatever left, if you can describe, it's relative, right? If you cannot
Yeah.
describe it, that's everybody got
No. Now again.
never left. It's
No.
relative.
Okay.
That
No.
concept.
Okay, I have to tell you this. There is one occasion. It says this ultimate. It's within the reach of intellect. Okay. How it says. So how it says that it is within the reach of intellect is in this way. You remove one by one, everything, right? When everything removed and whatever the left, that is ultimate, that is within the reach of intellect.
But you cannot describe what it is.
Huh?
You cannot describe what it is.
It described. It is
Whatever left.
Yeah, it is described. It is describable because you're describing without this, without this, without this, without this, without this, without this.
It's a very abstract.
But as soon as you
abstract
start to
concept.
say it has, then you've lost it.
No, it does. They don't say it has.
No, but
It
as
has
soon as
they say this is a tricky way. They say without this, without this, without this, without this, without this.
Yes, but as soon as you start to, go, aha, boom, you've lost it.
Yeah. Okay.
As
Here
soon as your intellect
that's why
starts to see it.
we have saying this namche and yongche. Namche gu wang du xian na, yongche gu wang du xian na. Namche means cutting all the aspect. Okay. According to the cutting all the aspect, then yes, we can say, oh, this is and the ultimate is within the reach of intellect. And yongche means kind of like a establishing something. When I establish something, right? To how to say, when I point out or when I establish this is ultimate through intellect, and it is not the reach of intellect.
It's only reachable when you cut everything.
Yes, it is only reachable when you cut the all aspect.
But you cannot.
If you want to establish, if you want to pinpoint, you
Yes,
cannot. It is beyond reach of intellect. That's the Shantideva's view now. Again, that's the highest middle way's view. Yes, some occasion we can say this ultimate is within the reach of intellect. When we wanna talk from the cutting all the aspect, then we can say ultimate can reach by intellect. If you want to establish ultimate, if you want to pinpoint ultimate, it is beyond reach of intellect. Understand? That is now their fundamental view, actually. Now this Shantideva's view. So these all actually debates are kind of like a, how to say this? The what do you call it? Where if otherwise the common view could fold the yogi's insight into corporal impurity. So if you do not accept that seeing the momentariness is comparatively ultimate, okay, comparatively ultimate, then your view of the females, the impurity, it's also can, confuted by common runs of people too. See, because you don't believe in comparative. You have to be either ultimate or relative. You understand? That's how this is Shantideva's just twisting to kind of like let him accept this, seeing the momentariness is the relatively ultimate. Relatively ultimate. Comparatively ultimate. Okay? That's what it means. Yeah, this is twisted. Yeah, it can become very complicated. Yeah. And then, now from here, since Shantideva confuted their 2 points, and then they raised these questions to the Shantideva. Okay, so the Shantideva for you doesn't have any resources. And what you believe is whatever we are seeing. And then Shantideva was saying, it is all relative, right? When, forms, mirage. Yeah. And then if you think everything is mirage, then so this two line, I think when they translated it become like, so this 2 line actually can become like in Tibetan word, first line is question, second line is answer. Understand? Second line is answer. But let's see in English. Through a Buddha who is but illusion, how does merit spring?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
As if the Buddha were existing truly. The second is answer. Now, Sarvakayana is raising question to Shantideva, if everything mirage, then how you can accumulate merit? They depend on a Buddha. Okay, offering to the Buddha, to the how to say, offering to Buddha that your object Buddha is mirage, and you yourself is mirage, and what you offering is mirage. How you can accumulate merit? Now look, this kind of twisted question, you know. They're saying like it is impossible that you can accumulate merit, because for you everything is mirage. So what to accumulate merit? You don't need to accumulate merit. Everything is mirage.
You have mirage merit.
No, this kind of concept, very carefully think. When we say to the, oh, everything is dream, mirage, many people have this concept. If everything is dream, why are you working hard? Isn't it? Isn't it?
Because I'm caught up in the dream.
No. Before they get this answer, they will raise this. This is not, as I told you, rather than you are listening as a third party, you just be yourself there. This kind of concept, we human beings could have oftenly. Whatever they're raising questions, these many different concepts. Some people they do not have this concept, but some people will going to have this kind of concept, you know. If everything is mirage, how you will going to accumulate merit? Because your object of offering Buddha, which is mirage, you yourself is mirage. What you offering is mirage. So how are you accumulating merit? And then Shantideva was saying, as if the Buddha were existing truly. Now this is twisted answer to that. How you believing that truly existing to Buddha, truly exist in me, truly exist in this offering, and then to offer truly existing accumulate merit. Same way, mirage like Buddha, mirage like me, mirage like offering, mirage like merit, I accumulate. So still I can accumulate merit. So accumulating merit. Okay, so this is what its point is, that even though you view everything as a mirage, it will not going to contradict with you to not to accumulate merit. Okay. Even though everything is like a mirage, it won't prevent you to accumulate merit. That's the point. Understand? Means, again, now there is question. Okay, this is. But you ask, if beings are like illusion, mirage, right? Illusion. How, when dying, can they take rebirth?
The illusion will die and then the illusion will rebirth.
Yeah, that is the simple. But normally, what we have like this in a mirage or magician, that in a magician, whatever the kind of like a display, the horse or elephants, whatever, and if they disappear, they won't come back the same. They won't come back the same. Could we come back?
Could come back the same. Could come back not the same.
Okay, so this kind of concept, human can have it. Human can have it. So this is why it is question raising this. If the beings are like a mirage, then how these beings are born again after they die? Right? Yes, and then that's exactly Shantideva answered. This is simple answer. Okay? That it is saying, as long as the conditions are assembled, illusion likewise will persist and manifest. To remove that concept, to remove that doubt. Now these are a little bit easy, I think. Not difficult to understand. Yumam chunga gurus. Gyuning samji jitarna semjin debar yoga yin. Now this is, I think, we human can have this kind of concept. Why? Through simply being more protected, right? Protected? How to say? Protected.
Protracted.
Protected.
Protracted means
longer, right? Longer.
Yeah, sort of delay, in this sentence, delay.
Should sentient being be regarded as a more real? Do you understand? This is something very silly concept, actually. But this silly concept, we human being could have. Some human being could have this silly concept. That what they really trying to say in this raised question is that. But the mirage, like what do you call it that? Illusion, right? Illusion, those mirage. Those are not really long last, but sentient beings live very long. So this answer is to those type of people. This answer is not for everyone. This answer is to those type of people who have this concept, kind of like a very, how to say, tricky concept. Sometimes when we do not find the really good reason, then we may say this kind of reason. We may put this kind of reason. Sentient beings are real because they live longer than those mirage beings. Mirage are just very momentary. Within this 1 hour show, it finished. All this mirage is gone. But sentient beings, after this hour, even live years and years. Therefore, sentient beings are real. mirage is false. If they have this kind of concept. And people who have this kind of concept, and this answer is for them. Okay? During some digital Nasimjan number in Yumi Kibu says Sola, Semechina dignity, Yumi Semdam Debala, Sonam Dan Dibachum. So now another concept. Okay, if the beings are like mirage, right? Then when we kill the mirage which is shown by magician, right? Okay, let's say magician made some human being. Okay, and if you kill this magician, the mirage human being, there's no demerit for sure, right? Isn't it? What do you think? No demerit, because this is not a being. This is mirage. You doubt?
Killing has 4 conditions.
Well, it depends. It
Intention has
depends upon.
one part.
It depends upon.
No, this is very easy to understand.
Yeah, on one
You see,
level, yes.
again, you see, that is human concept. We stuck.
Yes, but if my intention, if I only see that, like the snake, the piece of rope on the ground, I see as a snake,
Yeah.
and I kill it out of
Mhm.
anger and out of fear, according to the Bodhisattva vow, I've broken my vow
Killing has 4 conditions.
because it's concept. It's concept.
Okay. But the demerit of killing snake is not there.
No, but the demerit of the anger. is-
That's different. That's different.
No, that's-
Why would you
That's
kill a
different.
man without
Killing
anger?
has 4
That's
conditions,
different.
right?
Huh?
Killing has 4 conditions.
Yes.
One
So
the
that
four
the first
conditions.
2 has also some contribution.
Yeah, yes.
What?
You don't like if you want to kill this magician's human, you don't actually kill, like you don't complete the killing action, but you do still have some demerit.
No, action is complete. You did. Action is there.
No, you didn't kill.
Action is there.
Yeah. So your
But the
intention
object is
there,
not there.
so your object
Which
is not
you
there.
feel is object is not object. That's
Yeah.
lacking, missing.
Right, but
That's
your
why it
intention
is saying it is not complete the killing human.
No, but you still have.
And then it is not ending up breath off either. 2 condition is missing. You have a willing to kill,
Yeah, that is.
and you did penetrate the weapon.
And enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So that has.
and then how to say? Okay, so to complete the killing demerit, okay, to complete the killing demerit, you need 4 conditions. The first is the other object needs to be a human,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Which is not here.
Your intention
This
is
is
also
mirage
25%.
human, not human. It is mirage. Okay, that condition is missing. And then second one is you have to have willing,
Yeah.
and third one is you need to do something.
So you have 50%.
And fourth one, that object needs to die before you die, right? So this mirage, there's nothing to die, right? Nothing to die. So fourth condition is missing. This 2 condition is there, but first and last condition is not there.
So that's not, there's no sin, there's 50% of sin.
Killing sin is not there.
But it didn't specify it. So it's very
No.
general, there's no sin.
No,
That's
no,
why this is-
not, that's not really sin. Here, what you're saying.
I was trying to be tricky. and
It-
it's
in the
stupid.
English, it's that therefore there's no sin, but my point
Yeah.
is there is
Therefore,
something-
there's a no sin
there's something
means,
there.
therefore, there's a no sin of killing. That's what you need to understand. Yeah, we can say that. Okay, where is it?
If it says there's no sin of killing them,
Yeah.
but there's
Uh,
sin.
Jumi jebu se sola, seme china digme deis. right?
Mm-hmm.
If one kills or harms the magical illusion of a man, there's no mind in such a thing, and therefore there's no sin. Okay? There's no sin. So now this is something, there's no sin of killing. Okay, now if I make this, there's no sin of killing. Same way, now this is raising question to Shantideva. Same way, for you, the real human is also mirage. So for you, even killing a human should not complete the killing action. Because for you, first and last condition is missing. Isn't it or not?
Yes.
This kind of concept, yes, we really can happen to us when we talk about everything is mirage. Okay, everything is mirage, then why we need to worry killing someone? Just like a magician illusion that human to kill that, we don't have to worry. It doesn't become crime, right? It doesn't become crime. And to you, same way, it should not become crime. You understand? This is very tricky, isn't it?
But karma itself is a concept, right? It's a relative thing. Karma itself is a relative thing. Karma itself is a relative thing. It's within concept. The full condition itself is a concept. So that means even if you kill a magician human, you have some problem too, because karma itself is a concept. Killing a real man and a fake man is the same, because both are relative.
Not same. It is not same, right?
Relative.
It's not same. Killing that, what do you call it? Magician, mirage human. Okay.
Relative.
Killing that mirage human, which is performed by a magician. Okay. For instance, in a magic, even this like American Got Talent, and this very skillful, talented magician, they cut their body half and half, move to the different one. But if we did this to the real human, let's say real human, if we did this to the real human, and then that real human will going to die. But that magician, no die, and even who does it, it doesn't have any guilty feeling by doing it, right? Doesn't have any feel of guilty, right? So now Sarvakayana is saying to Shantideva, for you, even you does this same to the real human, you should not have any sense of guilty either. Does it make sense? Because it is mirage. It is mirage, just like that mirage human. Okay, Shantideva, for you, that magician shown the mirage human and the Aniyangchen is the same, isn't it? It's the same. Both is mirage. So now, Shantideva, for you, killing this mirage human, which is shown by magician, and the killing here, Aniyangchen, should be the same. Should be the same. There shouldn't be any demerit of killing the human being. That's what kind of like arguing or kind of like raising the doubt. If everything is mirage, then how mirage human, killing the mirage human doesn't consider as a crime, and then killing the real human shouldn't consider as a crime either. See. Likewise, the killing the mirage human doesn't complete the demerit of killing action. Likewise, killing the real human also should not complete the killing action. That's the question. That's the kind of like an argument. And then to answer that, Yumi Semdam Dembala Sonam Dam Tiba Chungus. But being do indeed have mirage-like minds. Sin and merit will in consequence arise.
Some could argue they wouldn't even have a mirage like mine.
Yeah, you see. But this mirage-like form, Shantideva answer is this. This mirage human being, that mirage human being, he doesn't even have a mirage-like mind. But this mirage-like real human being has a mirage-like mind. Therefore, mirage-like demerit could occur to craving, to killing the mirage-like mind possessor form.
And then if Anyanti has a higher realization, doesn't have a mirage-like mind, then you kill her, has no demerit.
No, it's
Still
still a mirage.
there's a mirage-like mind is there.
Still a mirage.
Mind
Yeah. Your mirage-like mind is with you, right?
Well, I mean, if regardless of her, if I don't have a mirage-like mind, I kill her, no demerit.
What?
If I do not, I'm the one who killed her. I do not have the mirage-like mind. Then killing her has no sin. For me.
Yeah. No. If you don't have a mind,
if
you don't have a mind, if you don't have a mind, you kill her, you will not going to accumulate any demerit.
Right. That means
Any demerit.
if
Yes.
Shantideva come and kill her, Shantideva has
No, Shiva Shantideva have mirage-like mind.
yeah.
Yeah. He believe everything as mirage.
Oh, that's a mirage.
Yeah.
A little bit better than him, then that's no.
Yeah. If you do not have a mirage-like mind, what do you become? You become similar like this roof.
Yeah.
Or you become similar like a
if the roof
something, roof fall down.
Demerit.
Roof doesn't create any demerit. Why roof create demerit?
So with becoming a Buddha is more like becoming a roof.
No, not like that.
That's you were saying, right? You're going beyond Shantideva is more becoming a roof.
Huh?
In order to kill her without demerit, I need to be a little bit higher than Shantideva, which means a roof.
That's it.
Becoming a Buddha is a roof.
No. The roof.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Roof. Okay. One angle, it's like a roof.
Yeah.
But the another angle, roof fall down or not fall down, it depends on a condition. Where the Buddha kill her or not kill her, not really depend on condition.
It depends on what
This roof fall down or not, it needs to rely on earthquake or something like hit something very hard. Mirage like mind. As long as Shantideva's answer is, as long as, okay, Shantideva answer here is like this. If that mirage human being who is performed by magician, if that mirage have a mirage like mind, then yes, you will going to accumulate demerit of killing human being.
mirage?
But And to that, you will not going to accumulate the demerit of killing human being. Why? Because that does not have mirage-like mind. Where Anyangchen has a mirage-like mind, therefore, if you kill Anyangchen, you will going to accumulate mirage-like demerit.
But as we discussed, if Anyangchen has that mind, I don't have a mirage-like mind. I killing her has no sin.
No. That's I told you, you just become like this roof. Yeah. If you do not, you see, if you do not have this mirage-like mind, you don't really able to generate intention to kill. Right? So there's no intention.
Sometimes we will
No intention.
Sometimes we will also kill someone just to
That's
so it
different.
depends how that person needs to be tamed or not.
Yeah, that depends. That's this kind of some exclusion is there. Exceptional is there.
If I think you need to be tamed and boom, then I sing, right? Because I'm mirage like.
You are still.
I'm thinking you need to be tamed. That itself is a mirage like mine.
You are not sure that I need to be. I need to be tamed, right?
Okay.
You think I need to be tamed, but you're not sure.
Some crazy murder, they have very sure that these people need to die. Then that's also mirage like mine.
Could become.
Or
Understand.
could be the.
Could become. Instead of demerit, they accumulate a lot of merit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's happening. Even his story that we have this 500 Martian was this, right? Likewise, that some people creating lots of problem in the human society, and better that person needs to go. Right?
Oh, that's like that.
But it depends on how you have calculated. It depends, absolutely, it depends also. But anyhow, now, so this kind of tricky question can be raised, Okay, anyway, so that this stanza, Shantideva answered that concept, to remove that concept, okay? Where is that? If one kills or harms the magical illusion of man, there is no mind in such a thing, and therefore there is no sin. But beings who indeed have mirage-like minds, sin and merit will, in consequences, arise. Okay, so we may stop here today. Actually, the main confuted is gone. Now these are all side concepts based on his view. If you view everything mirage, not like us, there's some solid existing creating everything. For you, there's nothing resources. You believe everything mirage. Then these faults will going to be happen. And then he's computing, no, this fault not going to occur. This fault cannot be present. What is it? He is trying to confuting back to his view, right? The Sarvakayanas, now it is like the Sarvakayanas trying to confute back to Shantideva's view. And then Shantideva's defending. It's like defending. No, this is not the right confuted, because this is the answer. And then he is confuting another way, raising another question, trying to confute it to his view, that viewing everything as a mirage. Right? Okay. So we stop here today. And do this dedication. Swanam de tamje zibani, omne nye vendanam tamje ne. Shigana Jivalon Chupai, Sibit Lenduan Duashu, Jambal Bave, Chedra Kimba, Kundu Zambo, Deyan Deshinde, Deda Kungi, Jason Aloche, Yawan de Katam Jeradu, Yawan de Yeshu, Sanam Yeshi Tozone, Sanam Yeshi Lejune, Tamba Kuni Tobashu. Sanje Guzum Nibe Shinanda, Chingi Mijul Dembe Shinanda, Yendin Mijen Dembe Shinanda, Jidaramo Manam Jabashu. Read in English. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain omniscience, and having vanquished the harmful enemies, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all beings just about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By conforming to the knowledge of courageous Manjushri, Jambaya, and in the same way as Samudabhaka, Kundusanga, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all this virtue. By this virtue, may all beings perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, swimmer, and wisdom, Yesha. And may they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies which result from these two accumulations. By the blessing of the Buddha, Sanghi, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharmata, Trinity, by the blessing of the infallible aspiration of the Sangha, Yin, may this prayer of dedication be accomplished just as it is.